Hey guys, so guess what? We're doing a New Year's inspired look today. So I'm super excited because we're gonna do a nice glitter lid to the eye. She's gonna be super smoky and sexy and sultry. So let's get right into it now. We're gonna go ahead and start off with our primers. I'm gonna go right in with Secure the Glow. And then we're gonna do a little bit of our oil sucker primer. This is a really good combo if you're gonna have a long night out, honey. So I'm gonna start with my Secure the Glow primer. Beautiful for the extra hydration, and quickly brush this all over the entire face. This is gonna give me that extra hydration with that boba complex, plus that hyaluronic acid. And it's gonna be able to give you that glowy vibe from beneath the makeup. So that is what I'm all about, especially for New Year's, right? You wanna be a glowy goddess. So I'm gonna bring it right down the neck as well. Now I'm gonna go with my oil sucker primer. This is gonna snatch those oils right up. So you wanna shake her up first. And then all you need is a little drop. Just take a finger, shear it down, right? And then pat it into those areas where you get oily only. So it's gonna be right on my nose and right on the center of that T-zone. You wanna make sure you dry this all the way down first. So I'm gonna start with my concealer, y'all. So we're gonna go in with the Futurist Soft Touch Brightening Concealer by Estee Lauder. I am gonna use the tone 2C. I'm not a 2C overall, but I want an extra brightening effect. And I'm gonna go right into the highlight points of my face. So now I'm gonna take my nice buffing brush here. So we're just gonna buff this out. We're gonna go in with the smaller fluffy brush to buff out the rest of the concealer in those tighter areas. Now we're gonna go right in with our Double Wear Stay in Place foundation in 4C3. Okay, this is soft tan, just a little dollop of that. And I love this 4C3 because it is that cooler undertone to it, so it melds in really nicely with my skin tone. I want to leave out the areas that I did my concealer, so the inner corner of the eye, the center of the forehead, because we want that to stay a little bit more highlighted. So now I'm gonna take a clean sponge, I'm gonna dab into that foundation, y'all, and we're gonna buff this into the skin. The skin is skinning, y'all. The skin is skinning. What I'm gonna do is use a little bit of this Advanced Night Repair Serum. I'm gonna take a little drop of this serum, add it into the foundation just to give me that extra glow. Let's go in and do some contouring with our Bobbi Brown foundation sticks. So I'm gonna use the tone in C084 and C076, okay? Just like painting, you just draw. Just draw on your face, girl. Go right down the nose, boom, boom. And so you can just buff this right out. It's so easy, I'm telling you. So now we're gonna go in with the 084 from Bobbi Brown, the foundation stick. I'm not gonna do it as liberally as I did with the 076, okay? We're just gonna scale it back a little bit. So we're gonna just a little notch here, and just a little touch there, a little bit here, and a little bit there. And a little bit on the bridge of the nose as well. So this is gonna start adding that extra, I like to say that 3D depth. See how that just melds right in? Look at that. Now we're gonna buff out that neck area, and then I'm gonna go right here and buff out that nose. I need to take a little bit of my foundation from my foundation brush, and what I'm gonna do is start pressing and buffing that foundation out right around the contour edges. I'm gonna sweep it over the eye. So we're gonna use the One Size powder in translucent to set the entire face. Buff it on the back of the hand, and then go right into the highlighted points first. We're gonna go ahead and start baking under the eye, and then buff a little bit more out on the outer edges of the skin, okay? Take a little bit of that powder on the back of the puff and sweep that over the eye. This lays down that beautiful blurred canvas, okay, on the lid. And then you can just buff it out. So now we're gonna use our Pat McGrath palette. This is the amazing Mothership Iconic Infatuation palette. So what I'm gonna do is go right in with Eternal Love, Endearment, and Bare Venus. I'm gonna go right into Eternal Love and Endearment. And we're gonna start etching out my crease. So now I'm gonna take Endearment right here and just etch out that outer corner just a little bit more and bring in that depth to the outer corner of the eye. Now we're gonna go in with Bare Venus. And we're gonna just sweep this over the lid, buff that into those other two shades that we did. And then what I'm gonna do is actually take those same two that we did earlier and just do a little bit on the bottom lash line as well. we're gonna do this beautiful sparkly lid using our eye popper from one side. This is the perfect product to get an amazing New Year's eye look with. I'm just gonna start patting this over the lid. And this gives you this like champagne-y, sparkly vibe to the eye. It is like gorgeous. When you walk in the room with this eye popper on, the girls are gonna do a double take. And we're gonna just work the edge of this, okay? We're just gonna kind of fluff out the edge. Move clicquot, who? So now we're gonna add some definition to the eye, and we're gonna use this Anastasia Soft Glam palette, okay? We're gonna go in with the mulberry, noir, and a little bit of cypress umber and rustic. So we're gonna go in with cypress umber first, and we're gonna start adding some smoky flair to this eye, y'all. This is where that smoky eye vibe is gonna come in. So I'm gonna drag it under the entire eye. So we're gonna take a clean, fluffy brush and dip into rustic. And now we're gonna just set it right on the outer edges of that darker brown and start buffing that edge out. I'm gonna go into the inner corner with that cypress umber. So this is actually gonna help open the eye up, because I'm using that darker brown above the sparkle. So it's gonna keep that inner corner popping, literally with that eye popper. But then we're gonna add that brown to add that extra depth here. I'm gonna go in with my one size liner. This one's called Point Made in Bodacious Black. Yes! We're gonna line the full waterline. So what's my trick, y'all? Keep that mouth open, right? The inner and outer corner. But let's take a small tapered eyeshadow brush. I take that liner and just stipple it onto the brush and start buffing out that line right into the lash line, because I want a little extra depth. Okay, now I'm gonna take the same liner, lightly line above the lash line now. Take that same brush that we used just a minute ago and buff that line out. I want it to be a softer but super deep smoky eye. We're gonna jump back into the palette, and we're gonna use the black one here called Noir. So we're gonna go right into it with a smaller fluffy brush, pop a little bit into that black, and then we're gonna buff out the lash line on the top and the bottom. All right, so now I'm gonna do a little bit of cypress umber and Noir in the inner corner, just to give a little bit of a halo eye effect. And then we're gonna let that buff out, going toward the center of the lid. I'm gonna add a little bit more Noir on both of my outer corners as well. We're just gonna buff it out right here where it wants to stay. Now we're gonna go in with our Cosmos palette from Anastasia, and I'm gonna use this beautiful tone for my inner corner, Cassar. So I'm gonna pop this right in the inner corner. Oh, look at that. All right, now I'm gonna go back in with my eye popper just to touch up a little bit on the lid. Dab it just on the center. And now while it's still a little wet, just take a clean brush and press it in. I'm gonna go right into some contour and some blush now. So let's get started with our contour. We're gonna do that Made for Shade trio, that dark trio, which I know and love, y'all. We're gonna do the top and bottom one, of course. And we're just gonna do a little subtle contouring. So now we're gonna do our blush in Fat Ass from one size. So pretty. I'm going to do the cream blush. We're gonna add some color to these cheeks. Now I'm just gonna use my finger just to buff this in. I'm not gonna be as blushy as I usually go, because I want the eyes to really stand out. Now we're gonna take a little bit of that powder blush here in the middle, just a little on each side, okay? So now we're gonna go in with a little bit of highlight from Estee Lauder. This is the Bronze Goddess in Modern Mercury. And then we're just gonna lightly dust that over. Then we're gonna do a little bit on the brow as well. So now I'm gonna go right into brows with the 3D brow effect from Estee Lauder. This literally is like 3 brow products in one. So we're gonna go right into it with that little micro pencil that we have and start defining that brow. So now we're gonna flip it to the other side and use that brow gel, okay, with that nice little spoolie here, taking the finger and pressing it into the brow and rolling it up. And that is gonna get you that laminated brow effect. All right, so now we're gonna get into this lippy look. We're gonna do a cherry cola vibe, which should be called the Delmar lip, but we'll get there later. So I'm gonna go with this Estee Lauder Amazing Pencil. This is the Double Wear 24-hour Stay in Place pencil in chestnut. Have your pencil on one side and a spoolie on the other. We're gonna feather this in for the outer corners. Now we're gonna go right in with our one size red Lip Snatcher Duo. You have your Velvet Flex Cream side and your Amazing Cushion Gloss side. These smell amazing. when I do pop in colors, I like a deeper outline. I don't like it to be full red lip or full fuchsia or pink lip. I need some depth. So now we're gonna finish up and pop a lash on really quickly and come right back. All right, so now I'm going in with my mascara, my fantasized mascara from One Size. It's literally my favorite mascara. So I'm gonna just pop on this mascara to meld in the top lashes and the bottom lashes. All right, it's time to hit up that New Year's Eve party, y'all. New year, new me. Let's step into 2025 looking right.